Fatima Zahra, oh Fatima Zahra.
13 long years had passed since Prophet Muhammad had begun to receive the revelation from God, which formed the final teachings for humanity, the Noble Quran. Doing all that he could to propagate the final message of God, the Prophet was constantly faced with verbal and physical attacks in his birthplace of Mecca. The opponents did not only target him, but they continuously exerted pressure against his family and loyal companions. The pinnacle of this subjugation resulted in the banishment of the small Muslim community to the valley of Abu Talib. Forced to survive by eating the grass and herbs that grew in the mountains, and whatever could be smuggled in from Mecca, it was during this tumultuous time that the Prophet lost two important pillars in his life. During the month of Ramadan, 3 years before the migration, his first and most beloved wife, and the mother of Fatima al-Zahra, al-Mu'mineen Khadija bint Khuwaylid, passed away, creating a huge void in the life of the Prophet. This, coupled with the death of his uncle, avid supporter and one of the first Muslims, Abu Talib, created shockwaves in the community. The loss of these two dear individuals to the Prophet led him to announce that year as the year of grief. Indeed, with the loss of these two staunch supporters and foundations of the early Muslim community, things are going to get much more difficult for the Muslims. The physical and psychological pressures continue to mount on the fledgling community. And so 3 years later, God ordered the Prophet and the Muslims to leave Mecca and journey north to the city of Yathrib. Through employing careful planning, deep foresight, precautionary measures, and of course above all, his complete trust, tawakkul, in God, the Prophet made plans to leave Mecca and journey to his new home of Yathrib, the city which would later be renamed in his honor Medina Nabi, literally the city of the Prophet. However, the Prophet needed to retain someone trustworthy in Mecca, not only to return the trusts the people had given him, after all he was the trustworthy Al-Amin, but to also guide the remaining Muslims to Medina. There was only one person who had the necessary credentials to carry out such an important task: his cousin, future son-in-law, and his future successor, Ali ibn Abi Talib. Unbeknown to others, the disbelievers had planned to attack the Prophet that same night. The plan was simple. A member from each of the main tribes would surround his house and in a group simultaneously would strike a blow to the Prophet, killing him. Working in tandem with one another meant that the death could not be pinned on one particular clan. And as the Muslims could not exact revenge on all of the pagan tribes, all of them would be absolved of the crime. Knowing this plan was in place and that the enemies were waiting for the opportune moment to strike, the Prophet finalized the plans to leave Mecca and requested the young Ali to sleep in his bed. If he were to live through the attack, not only would he deliver the trusts back to their owners, but he would also lead the Muslims from Mecca to their new home. This groundbreaking act of self-sacrifice of Ali ibn Abi Talib resulted in God revealing a verse of the Quran about his dedication by saying,
وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ رَءُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ.
And among men is he who sells himself to seek the pleasure of God, and God is affectionate towards the servants. That night, the Prophet began the journey, albeit by taking many precautions to trick those who were in search of him, safely making it to the cave of Thor, where he waited until the right time to begin his journey to Yathrib. Meanwhile, back in Mecca, the polytheists forced their way into the house of the Prophet, and as they were about to level the fatal blow of swords, discovered Ali sleeping in his bed. They had been tricked. They left the house in hot pursuit of the Prophet, but he was gone. God had once again come to his aid. Later, as instructed, Ali returned the trusts back to their owners and led the caravan, including his own mother Fatima bint Asad, and the daughter of the Prophet Fatima al-Zahra, and a group of believers to Medina. Arriving to the outskirts of Medina around the middle of the third lunar month of Rabi al-Awwal, close to 2 weeks after placing his life on the line, Imam Ali found the Prophet waiting for him, and obviously waiting for his beloved daughter Fatima al-Zahra. During the wait in Quba, the Prophet, with the help of those with him, constructed the Masjid of Quba, and as Ali and the caravan from Mecca arrived, they began to proceed forth to Medina. Leaving her birthplace of Mecca, the center where Islam began, Lady Zahra would now prepare to enter the next phase of her life through the migration to Medina. She would find this to be a place welcoming the Prophet, his family, and the companions with open arms, affording them a golden opportunity to further develop Islam in an open and free environment. It would also signal the next phase in the life of this young lady.